Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show here at Worship Team Training. Great to see you. How is your Thursday today? I hope that it's going great. You got your water? I got mine. Already had my coffee earlier. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Hey, it's also not just Thursday, but it's also Friday Eve, as we say each week. How's it going, everybody? Hope that you're doing well. It's great to see you, all of our great, fantastic folks on Periscope, and also our folks here on Facebook Live. Welcome, welcome. You made it to Thursday. Man, what a week it's been, and so glad that you've chosen this time to be here with us. So how are you this morning? Worship teams, leaders, pastors, musicians, singers, everybody, worshipers, great people coming in on Periscope, fantastic people coming in on Facebook Live. Hey, this is a great time right now for you. Terry, what's up, Terry? It's been so long. My good friend on Periscope. Hope you're well. Scott Hussey on Periscope shouting out. If this is a great time for us, if it's a great time for you, hey, please do this right now. Share this out with your friends. If you're on Facebook Live watching us, please hit the like button and then share this out on Twitter and share it out on Facebook. If you're on Periscope, then swipe and invite. Please do that right now on Apple and on Droid. Swipe the screen and don't wipe the screen. I don't know how dirty it is, but just swipe it and invite all your friends on Periscope and also on Twitter. Slide over as well on Periscope and hit the follow button. Hit the like button on Facebook Live to like us and follow us. So thank you so much, because you guys make these shows happen each morning during the week, and we're so glad that you've chosen us to be a part of your encouragement and daily walk. We're here for you. WorshipTeamTraining.com. Who am I? My name is Brandon Dempsey, and I am a child of God, worship leader. So happen to lead an awesome ministry called WorshipTeamTraining.com. And what do we do? Exactly what we say. We train worship teams and leaders just like you. We either come to your church and provide a 1 or 2 day event, or we can also do that by video. We do video workshops. Did you know that? We do live, hands-on training video workshops just like you're watching right now. So you think it couldn't get any better than this? Oh man, yeah, it can. It can get a lot better than this. Also, we provide mentoring, one-to-one for worship leaders and for teams, team to team. Our team and your team. Tony Guerrero, Stephanie Kelly, Rich Kirkpatrick, shall I go on? Or if you're looking for that one-to-one help, we do that too. You can find all the good stuff, as well as camera angles, over at WorshipTeamTraining.com. At the same time, when do we air these broadcasts? Just like this, 10 a.m., Monday through Friday, weekdays, and we come to you. So, and that's our whole slogan. We come to you, whether if it is a broadcast, article, mentoring, or workshop, we come to you, not the other way around. So glad that you guys are here. Let's get this going. And who are these broadcasts for? As I had already mentioned, you lovely worship leaders, musicians, singers, pastors, audio tech, everyone who is a worshiper. Did you know we have a lot of folks that join us that are not on a worship team? So thank you guys. Also on the replay and YouTube. Hey, look, if you're new here, this is your first time, welcome. Please let us know that you're new simply by typing in all caps, new, and the city or country of where you're from. Please do that. Also, if you're part of the family, then just type in FAM as an F-A-M. That lets us know who we are conversing with and who we're hanging out with this morning. So please do that. Fantastic folks. Family, Treasure is her name on Periscope. And who else do we have? Who else do we have on Facebook Live today too? So use the comment window throughout the broadcast. If you got something to if you got something to say, I was going to say Shay. Hal, thank you so much for sharing that on Twitter. A comment, idea, even a topic for a show that maybe we haven't done yet. Hey, let us know, because this is how we communicate. This is all about community, so that we always know what's going on in your world. I mean, what are the trenches? That's really where we live, right? So Pamela on Facebook Live, good morning, how are you? Devoted followers here, thanks so much. And these fantastic people on Periscope and also on the replay, thanks so much. Today we're talking about singing well. What about seeing well? Because I don't think you can see that very well. Sorry. But, oh, you can see this very well. That's why we do that. Sing well, breathe well. That is today's topic, because many of you singers and worship leaders go through this. I go through it too. What are the struggles that we can overcome? Help our voices. That's what it's all about. Talking about confidence today. Talking about how to relieve pressure within our voice structure and our throat, our neck, our chest, all that good stuff. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. As we get to that, please follow us on Twitter. That's at WorshipTT, where you can find all the good stuff right there. So all of our links, our videos, our broadcasts, motivational quotes, our biblical highlights, all that stuff you can find at WorshipTT. So follow us today, and thanks so much for that. A lot of you guys are, and also on Snapchat. A lot of you guys already, I'm having conversations with worship leaders and worshipers that are talking about the way they lead, what's going on with their pastor, what's going on in their worship life, what's going on in their reality. I had a really great conversation this morning, very quick one, in which I was also asked, what about your story, Brandon? It seems that when this person looked out in life and seen this facade of the church versus what the Bible says about how we ought to live as a church, there's a discrepancy, and that's why I tweeted that out today on Twitter, as far as that there's fear and there's liberty. So the only kind of fear we should have is the fear of God. The only kind of liberty we should have is the one in Christ. Not fear of man, not fear of the world, but fear of God. And also fear of, I'm kidding, Clarence, our broadcast assistant. Clarence, what's up on Periscope? Glad to see you as always. Clarence does a lot of, I don't know if you guys know this, but Clarence hangs out from LA, does a lot of great hard work for us daily on these shows. He puts out tweets, he shares out the broadcast, he puts up notes for us. I mean, this guy is just amazing gold. So Clarence, thank you. I thank him every show because he does such a great job. So thank you, brother. Just a great, great friend. So let's get right to this. On Snapchat, please follow us. Just download Snapchat at your Google Play, Droid, or Apple store. Hopefully it's Apple because Apple's just better. Sorry. And you can find the Snapchat app there. And when you download it, search us, add us, WorshipTT. And we do what's called a Snap Story. That's throughout the whole day. So it starts with our articles, with our broadcast like you're watching now, and then throughout the whole day, I'll put out messages that kind of tie everything in from the broadcast to the articles and posts, and also messages and content that you won't find anywhere else except here on Snapchat. So follow us, and also we'll be running contests from time to time as well. So you don't want to miss that because you can win something free. You never know. Screenshot this right now. Screen it. WorshipTT. Screen it. Get it out there. And like it. Add us. Thanks so much for that. Also, Bible.com. We have a lot of you guys that follow and look at the highlights that I put out daily. What's on my mind and my heart, I write that in. It's at WorshipTeamTraining, and it's at the fantastic Bible.com site. And what I love about Bible.com, they are a great online Bible, but they also put out a fantastic Bible app, and it's called YouVersion. So if you go to Bible.com and download YouVersion, you will get the most fantastic app on your phone to read the Bible. You can also follow us and many others, but you can see our highlights and what I write daily, what's on my mind, as well as it flows into our devotionals. So we have 2 more devotionals coming out. They're both in English and in Spanish. And yes, our good friend Oscar Arena over in Veracruz, Mexico's that's a good one. Mexico City in Veracruz. Oscar is the man. He is our translator, so big shout out. Hats off to him. Thank you so much. He's helped us with our past 3 devotionals in Espanol. And so we have our 14-day and our 30-day coming very, very soon, like almost any moment. We're just waiting for YouVersion to drop it. And then once they do, bam, you're going to get it right on your phone, tablet, or your desktop. So be sure to follow us there. And also, be sure to check out our next webinar with Tony Guerrero. I can't believe it. May the 24th. By the way, big shout out to Alva Copeland on yesterday's Hangout. If you haven't seen yesterday's Hangout, you need to do yourself a big favor and go see it now. You can find it on WorshipTeamTraining.com. And I think it's the second post What's up, Amy? On Periscope. Leonard on Periscope. What's up? Alva Copeland said it. I mean, you talk about, somebody who brought it. That's her. Alva is one of the most experienced worship leaders that I've met, who's got such a great heart, mind, spirit that God uses freely. She's just gold. And we had her on the Hangout with Tony Guerrero yesterday. So be sure to check out Hangout, Worship Team Hangout 511. It's up on the site right now. It's up on YouTube also. And you'll be blessed by the words of this awesome spokeswoman of God. I mean, and I say spokeswoman of God very loosely, because she does follow the Lord, and she speaks what is right, and only what she tries to follow, like we all do, what God is saying, and she speaks on that, And I just love her heart. She's the real deal. I mean, as down to earth as you can get. Love her. So check that out. But Tony Guerrero is going to bring it May the 24th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So thanks, Clarence. Clarence on Periscope is shooting that out about the Hangout that I just talked about, 511 Alva Copeland. But in 2 weeks, I think, Tony Guerrero is going to be talking about raising the standard within your worship band. Look, do you have that trouble? Are you like complaining right now about somebody in your team? Stop it. Are you worried about somebody not showing up on time? Are you worried about the quality of your music? Okay, Tony is going to bring it for you, and he's going to leave you with zero room to speak negatively about it. But he's going to give you all the tools and results possible to help you upgrade your team. You can't miss it. 5/24, 3 p.m., free webinar. All you need to do is go to this website, WorshipTeamTraining.com/events. WorshipTeamTraining.com/events, and get that today. So today, our workshops, you can find us at, we do 1 2-day events, and we come to you. WorshipTeamTraining.com/workshops for more. I'll talk about that later. Let's get right to it, shall we? Sing well, breathe well. Let me ask you right now, and please do this. Please type in the comment box window. Let us know, what is your number one struggle in your voice or your vocal team? What would that be? Go ahead and type it in and let us hear your responses. And as we do that, I'm just going to roll on with the intro of today's post. You can also find today's post at WorshipTeamTraining.com. Sing well, breathe well. That is our article for today. That's where you can find it. Okay, so Precious Stone says, to sing high because I'm a low-range alto. Okay, you heard it right there. Charlene, what's up? So singing too high as an alto. Okay. What else? What else is a struggle for you vocally or within your team? All right, team blending. Very good, Leon. And by the way, I am drinking water. I can prove it. I just don't want to spill it. But it's all clear in there, okay? No dark colored waters, all right? I did that just before. Well, anyway. All right, so worship team training. Sing well, breathe well. Yes, what else? Nervousness. Oh, makes you breathe wrong. Makes you breathe wrong. We're going to talk about that. My struggle, Creatos on Periscope says, my struggle is to practice at the moment to single the tone goes away. Can you say that one more time? Because that was so fast. I'm trying to keep up. Pamela on Facebook Live says, keep my voice healthy. Yes, very good. Muy bueno. What else? ¿Qué tal? What else you got to say? Sometimes the team doesn't listen. Whoa, that never happens. What are you talking about? The team doesn't listen. Okay, so that's another vocal thing, right? We'll talk about that too. What else? What else is bugging you? What is bugging you about your voice, or that's just a with your vocal team? What would those things be? Thank you, Creatus. I lose my tone due to nervousness. That is a great point. And that is exactly, wow, you guys said it, and I'm so glad that we're listening to you. Just move you right here a little bit. Because that's exactly, one more time, sorry. I know, I'm sorry, I don't mean to move you. Please forgive me. Thanks. Thanks for your patience. That is exactly what we're talking about today, because we do these broadcasts and articles for you. You guys message us daily about the stuff. You send in your comments just right now, and we write about them. And we're doing the shows. Vocal team being too shy, not singing out. Yes, Amy said it. Charlene, nerves. lost in the background since I'm with the group and not singing directly into a mic. Okay, so let's address these issues one by one, or by two. Okay, shall we? Let's try it. Vocal team trying to watermelon it. No. Stage presence. Man, you guys are just awesome. You got so many great things to say, Periscope. Thank you. Facebook Live. I know you guys got your comments out there. You probably got your thoughts that are like, well, I don't want to say it because so-and-so may be watching. That's okay. What is watermelon? Watermelon is when it's like the euphemism people say if you don't know the words, just watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. Makes it look like you're singing behind the mic. Okay, so don't ever do that, please. Ministering the song with body language. You mean like this? Like, you ain't gonna get me to sing, huh? That's the kind of body language we don't want, all right? Especially in the choir, right? You ever got those people in the choir that just kind of do this, you know? Encourage them to sing in another way, right? Encourage them. I mean, like I had, two guys that were just kind of like, and I just said to them, hey bros, look, this is no funeral here. This is a worship service, all right? So, what's up, Triple? On Periscope, what's going on, my good friend? How are you? All right, so I pay attention to the close of worship. What? Shadrach, my man. We got to get together, dude. Diva syndrome. They're talking about diva syndromes over here, Barry. What's up, Barry? Facebook Live. Diva syndromes, what they wear. Yes. Not good. Okay, guys, there's so many things that we could talk about, right? Okay, so what you wear, not important. How you look, that ain't going to get people to sing, okay? It just doesn't. What you wear could be distracting, and it can prevent people from singing, okay? And also the divaness, right? It's not about you, Charlene. That's right. Charlene on Periscope. Shadrach knows what's up. Precious Stone knows what's up on Periscope here. Barry Westman, what's going on, Barry? And so as we talk about how to sing well, breathe well, we're talking about the voice. We are talking about things that we can do with our vocal structure that doesn't get in the way of our leading and the way that God's called us to sing, because singing can be a very complicated thing, especially Nope, distracts me. Come on, worship with me. That's what Periscope viewers said about having a t-shirt that says this. Very funny. But that would be distracting too. So, sorry. It would take more time to read it. But we all know that nervousness gets in the way. The problem with that, and this is what we're going to talk about. Again, if you want to follow this article, please check the article out and share it out with your friends, just like this broadcast, on WorshipTeamTraining.com. Sing well, breathe well. That's today's article. So, what happens with our nervousness? We're talking about muscle tension. We're talking about everything that happens in the face, up here, pressing up, pulling down in the chest. We don't want those things because they do hinder the natural voice and tone. And like what Creatos had said on Periscope, what she said is that does prevent your voice from it prevents your voice from singing in a well tone because you're so worried, you're so tensed up about everything else. Forgetting the words, right? That's another issue. So let's do these things one layer at a time as best as possible, okay? So singing, I will say this, number one, singing never needs to be forced, period. Singing never needs to be forced. A lot of singers feel like they have to overcompensate by using a lot of breath. That they have to stand up straight, that there's certain things they got to do with their body, certain things they got mechanics that they got to do with their voice to make their voice sound better. Let me just tell you, God already gifted you with your natural tone and your natural voice. And what is that called? Your natural speaking voice, just the way it is. There's nothing that you have to do mechanically in your voice to make you sound better. If you do, you're only masking your true tone. So if I'm to talk one way, but if I sing like this and I try to, force it out, then you can hear everything like when I do that, it's a very incorrect way of singing. Number one, the larynx is right away being pulled down and the muscles in the voice are just going down this way. Plus my tone is going in the head voice and I'm also dropping pitch. That's what happens and it's straining. So when we sing, we want to sing in our natural voice, very relaxed. So how do we get there? Okay, how do we get there? Let's go on a little bit more about this. So, have you thought about taking time to breathe? Have you thought about the way that you breathe? The best kind of voice is one that's at a relaxed point, when you are in an at-rest position. That is when you sing the best. Just like when you speak. Let's try this, for instance. Just say A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Just like that. Say it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Was that easy? It shouldn't be hard. You weren't saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G and trying to make it happen, were you? So when you say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, now sing it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It should be that simple. It's very easy, exactly. So if you're having to put anything more towards that tone or towards that breath, you're already complicating and adding the things that really shouldn't be there. So let's talk about how we can take away some of those things and learn some easier things. The first thing that happens is tension within singers. And this can come from standing before the mic. Now, all of you know that once that mic is, the sound engineer puts it right up there, and you're going, great, this is not the kind of morning that I was thinking of, Whatever may be going through your mind at that moment, stress about something else, and then all of a sudden, now you're faced with this microphone and you got to sing. That's a lot of pressure. So, what I do is, quite a few things. I practice breathing exercises. Now, this is a great way to help calm down anxiety. It's also a great way to help you go back to sleep if you can't sleep well at night. Warming up first, absolutely. Those things need to happen. Just going by a scale. And then chromatically, right? And then you go up the scale and then down the scale. Those different exercises, like another one I use, it starts on a yi, ya. And the reason why I do these two different exercises is, number one, a certain vowel will help open up the mouth, and also it should relieve tension. Okay? So the best thing is when you are warming up, you want to warm up all the muscles so we relieve muscle and neck tension. Okay? And also drinking lots of water. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This thing right here is filled with agua, mas. Make sure that you do that, and a lot of water here. And then the breathing exercises, real quick, what I was going to say about that is I count to 10, and breathe in through the nose and then out the mouth. What I'd like for you to do real quick is breathe in the mouth and breathe out the mouth real quick. Just go like that. Do that. See how short that is? It's a very short breath, and it's not a lot that will help you. So if you breathe in through the nose like that, and then out the mouth, you can feel the chest cavity being raised by the air. Do it one more time. Breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Breathe in, then out. Now, my vocal teacher always taught me before every entrance, when you sing, breathe in through the nose to take a big breath. Now, at that time, I was also studying. Yes, it's the same thing in athletics. It's the same thing with working out. You want to breathe in the nose. That's why they, like in athletics, if you remember in high school, they made you run around the track holding water in your mouth, because the coach is trying to help you develop lung capacity. The same thing happens within singing. So, breathing in, out the mouth. Vocal teacher helped me establish that before every entry. But at the same time, I was also studying a lot of opera and classical singing, so that style is different, because in classical and operatic singing, you have to use a lot of air. The reason is because there's no microphone. And so they teach you to fill the room with your voice. That's the whole point. I don't want to demonstrate it because it would get way too loud, and basically I've grown tired of singing Dalla Sua Pace by Mozart, even though I love the play. But anyway, from Marriage of Figaro. But getting back to contemporary music, yes, I love classical singing. I love classical music. I have my degrees in that. It's great, but it doesn't translate well to contemporary. It doesn't work. A lot of vibrato is cut. There's a lot more straight singing, and also breath control. You don't need to have all that big breath yeah, to sing it. When you're on a microphone, it can overpower the mic. Now, if you use that same technique, you have to tailor it and mix what we call a mix between head and chest voice, and you have to kind of pull back a little bit on all that power that you have. Like, I have a strong voice. If I really want to let it out, I can let that happen, but I choose to develop a mix. I try to pull down the head voice and pull up the chest voice just a little bit. They have a good mix right here. So that way it keeps me from under singing and over singing. Okay, more about that later. But I've learned to take a quick breath through the nose and then slowly release it. And slowly release that through the notes that you sing. So if you're doing, the scale, na, na, and slow, or just one tone, na, and learn to sing, to breathe in and then out. So it's your natural tone. It's nothing forced. That's the whole idea. Controlled breathing. Another exercise that I do that I was going to tell you about is I do an arpeggio. Now, the whole idea is to also sing this at a different syllable and vowel to open the mouth, and also to relax the muscles. So we do this on a yi, ya, ha. That's how it goes. So it's yi, ya, ha, yi, ya, ha, yi, ya, ha, yi. What that does is the yi is the horizontal, flattened like a smile. Yi, and we can get the sideways muscles moved out of the way, and then the ya, that opens up the vertical, and then ah, it gives us the back of the throat tone. So yi with a y, yi ya ha. So yi ha ha, yi ha ha, yi ha ha, yi. Yi ha ha, yi ha ha, yi ha ha, yi. And you can go all the way up. And you may be surprised that when you're singing here, yi ya ha, yi ya ha, when you get up to those notes, you can actually sing them better because you're singing a very good vowel. And that comes from the operatic studies. But how does that translate into contemporary? It is quite nice because you learn how to open the mouth more, and then you have much more control over the voice instead of everything being right here like it is in contemporary singing. So we do want to open up a little bit. We want to relax a little bit more. So I'll talk about nerves. That's one thing. This is what I do about nerves and about muscle tension. There's two different ways that you can stand, and I say standing because standing is one of the key points of relieving muscle and neck tension. The way you stand will make a difference. If you're standing this way, your body's out of alignment. If you're bending over or you're doing some awkward stance, like American Church Idol, right? Then you're only going to cut off or hinder, rather, the air passage. And we don't want that. So we do want to sing upright and straight. And I found two things beneficial. Feet together and then shoulders right here to the side. Okay? And yes, posture plays a lot, and Precious Stone is saying that on Periscope. The air must flow. So when you're singing, check to see what your shoulders are doing. Are they at an at-rest position? Now you may notice that when you're singing, your shoulders may start to go up. So I say look in the mirror when you're singing and practice at home, and try to keep those shoulders relaxed and down. When you're in a rehearsal situation or practice or even worship service, and you feel like you've got a little tension here, it could be because you're raising those deltoid muscles, that shoulder, up a little bit. So check next time. When you feel a little pressure, look down at your arms or your arms to the side, drop the shoulders. That will have a lot to do with it. What happens is when those shoulders are raised up and you're using these deltoid muscles, they will actually grab the rest of your facial muscles down and yank them. And what that does to the larynx is the same thing. It will pull down the larynx. We don't want that. So standing feet together, side by side like that. Also, I found a very good thing in having feet apart. So let's say my feet are here. I want to stand with my feet apart a little bit. So that way, now I can take the weight off my back and put the weight in my legs and still drop the shoulders, put my weight right here. So what that does is it puts the power right here in my voice at the bottom of the diaphragm. And so it's a good balance. And if you watch singers like, who, like Carrie Underwood does this from time to time. Also, Trace Atkins does it a lot. They will sing a little bit with their feet apart. And if you watch their posture, they're having all the power kind of going downward in their legs because they want to drop the shoulders and they want to sing out from here. And it's a great tool, but it's something that you got to practice. Something also that we don't have a lot of time to cover right here in the show. But anyway, just kind of get you a little bit of that technique. So Scripture says this. I love what Scripture says, that Psalm 57:7 says, see, I had to drop my shoulders because I realized I was getting a little tense there. Psalm 57:7 says, my heart, O God, is steadfast. My heart is steadfast. I will sing and make music. So that is a joy. It's not out of tension. Singing should be joyful. It shouldn't be difficult. I love the phrase, singing is breathing, or breathing is singing. You know, it's the same thing. So let's move on a little bit further. Here we go. All right, glad you guys like it. Thanks so much for that on Periscope, you guys. So usually you can feel the throat closing in. And so if you're having that, make sure, again, I go back to hydration. Make sure that you're constantly having water. It's so, so important to have. Don't drink coffee. I've said this before. What's up, Laura, on Periscope? She's one of our awesome, fantastic vocal mentors. Appreciate that. And you can find Laura and every other mentor that we have on WorshipTeamTraining.com/mentoring. Okay, so water. High five, Barry. Thanks for that, man. Room temperature water, yes, very important. Don't have cold water because it will constrict the voice just like coffee will. And we could talk all day long about this stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna kind of save this to move on just a little bit more. But sometimes, like if you feel like your throat closing in, it could be muscle tension. It could be what you ate. It could be what, like if you eat a big heavy meal, it can weigh down the diaphragm. So I also encourage singers, don't eat a big breakfast or a big dinner prior to rehearsal or worship service. And also stay away from gassy foods like an apple or broccoli because they have any food that's got a lot of gas. It's going to have to come out. Okay, so but you want to watch that because that can really upset everything else that you're trying to do vocally. And also spicy foods. We live here in Texas, so we love Mexican food. Like jalapenos is kind of like having an apple inside a refrigerator. So I have to also keep that down. And the same thing with Italian food. I love Italian food because I'm part Italian. But we got to keep all the herbs away because, again, same thing. Anything spicy, anything herby, you can get caught in your throat, gas, whatever. So you want to be careful of those things too. The way you stand, we talked about that. Your muscle tension, make sure that you warm up the voice. Make sure that you also do jaw exercises, moving around. Neck rolls all the way, right? All that stuff helps because it's just moving the muscles around. Laura may remember this. In vocal studies, they would have us, I'm not kidding when I tell you this, to practice and to develop an operatic tone, we had to do our own vocal stretching of our mouths, and they would do what's called an impedimento. An impedimento basically is a apparatus you put in your voice, in your mouth to stretch out the mouth. And so we would put a pill box in there. Seriously, we get like a Tic Tac box or a little pill box and put it in your mouth, and it would stretch. Because in operatic singing, not only, as I shared before, you have to learn how to use the whole chest cavity and all air, but they also wanted you to expand the muscles within your mouth. Now, I'm not saying that you should do that for contemporary singing because that's not the same style that we would use. Yes, 2 fingers vertical in the mouth, absolutely, the same thing. So I had to do that, and I actually had to learn how to sing with a pillbox in my mouth to develop that tone and to stretch out the muscles. 3 fingers, somebody said on Periscope, Shadrach said that, but 3 fingers in the mouth. Wow, okay. Can I get a 4? Can I get a 5? Okay, so, but those are techniques that we use as singers to help develop muscles. Now, I'm not encouraging you to do that for contemporary singing because it is a different style of singing. And I believe that there's a lot of healthy things that we can learn from operatic and classical singing and transfer those into contemporary. That's something that Laura does very well, and that's what she teaches very well on. But for the common average Joe singer who just does contemporary singing, this may not be as helpful. So we want to, you got to meet people where they are. So this is where you are. But open the inside of the mouth like a yawn. That's another great exercise. We've done that here before. And that's like starting out from a high-pitched tone and then sloping or scooping it all the way up and then glissando all the way down to a lower, like a yawn. So it'd be like a ah, like that. Try it. Ah. Okay, don't do this in public, okay? I'm even surprised I'm doing this with thousands of people watching this on video, but who cares? But this is it's just a good warm-up exercise. We have singers do that. It helps you in many different ways to open the mouth, relieve muscle, go through different registers within your head voice all the way down to the low. Thanks, Laura. She says, love this stuff, could teach it all day long. I know, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, it is funny, the tones and things that we do. So I want to move on, okay, because there's a lot that we can cover within the vocal stuff, but I want to move on here. Hal says on Facebook Live, okay, seriously, the tongue is a muscle-connected vocal cord, so sticking your tongue out and rolling it clockwise and then counterclockwise will help warm up your voice. I did not know that. That's amazing. Am I going to do that now to stick my tongue at you? Maybe off camera. Anyway, you guys are great. Thanks for that. I didn't know that, Hal. That's fantastic. Okay, so who knew that when so you can do this now at your choir director or worship leader. No, dude, I'm just practicing. I'm just sticking my tongue out. It's a vocal exercise. Yeah, vocal exercise. See how far that goes. All right, so body posture, I talked about that, dropping the shoulders. We want to relieve tension because what happens is when the outer muscles take hold of like around your neck, they will yank down what we call the involuntary muscles, and they will yank down the larynx, and that's not what we want, okay? So that's why you want to stay hydrated. That's why you want to keep your shoulders and body relaxed, and everything else that we talked about so far, things that will prevent you, things that will help you not dry out the voice, because when the voice is dry, the juices in your body will try to overcompensate, and it will just make you more and more thirsty, and it just dries you out quicker. So anyway, moving on here, we talk about standing. Let's do this through the song instead of trying to reach the note. We just want to sing the song, okay? Now, this was something else that you guys brought up when I opened the broadcast today. You talked about how we are to, things like blend, right? Use your natural voice. Creatos had said that when she gets nervous, she loses the tone of what she sings. Registers and range is real important, because if you're singing in a range that's way too high, let's take the song Forever. I don't like if I'm playing this in the key of A and ask a female to sing it, man, I'm really in for it. All right, so they're doing forever he right there. I mean, they're like right at that. I mean, that's like screeching. So we put it down to F. Forever he is glorified. Forever he is lifted high. So I'm using my natural voice. You can see I'm not, trying to push anything. Knowing the key, the comfortable key is key. Thanks, Laura. That's so true. So even if it's E, forever he. So again, guys, if you're leading worship, like I love doing the Forever song in the key of like A flat. It is a little higher for women, but for the male voice to get that lower end of the verse, you really need to have it, because if it goes any lower, it's going to sound muddy. So this is what I do. I have the women sing harmony on that song if I'm leading it. If I'm leading the main vocal melody. So that way, it comes out like so A flat. Morning sun, right? Oh, I can't play it. Okay, here we go. got this lower passage. The sun was dead. The Savior of the world has fallen. And we get to the pre-chorus and it kind of goes up a little bit. The ground begins to shake. The storms rolled away. This perfect love cannot be overcome. So we're right there. I'm in a nice, relaxed tone. I'm in a nice, relaxed register. My larynx is balanced. It's not being pulled down. I'm not doing the ground begin to shake. I'm not having to force anything. And then when I get to the chorus, I'm already nice and relaxed, right? Right? Whoa. Forever He is glorified. Forever He is lifted high. Forever. So I'm able to sing the forever and get those little bit higher notes in there. I'm not having to push it. And even like the straight tone, I can nail those straight tones like with no big deal because I'm not forcing it. So when I'm singing out, forever He, and then I had the vibrato come here at the second part, is glorified. Forever He is lifted high. So I'm trying to use my voice in such a way that it's an instrument, what does the throat feel like on the upper notes? I mean, like for me, my throat, it feels like everything is right here. It's not up there. I'm not singing the head voice, but I'm not groveling either. Let's say like for guitar example, a lot of you guitar players, when you're singing the song, I'm going to play it this way, okay? But the same thing occurs, like, Laura brought this up as a good point in one of our webinars, and I'm just going to leave the camera there. So I'm playing this in the same key in A flat, right? Be careful that as you're leading worship, that the guitar is not being pressed against your body too hard. I mean, that's one thing that I try to keep in mind when I'm playing and leading, because I like the guitar comfortable, but if I'm pulling it, pulling the neck right here, it's going to go right into my chest, and it's going to decrease that lung capacity. So, same thing on the chorus. Forever He is glorified. Forever He is lifted high. Forever. Now, see right there, I'm starting to pick up just a little bit of my throttle going up. I can feel my larynx going up just a little bit, and that's because I'm playing guitar. So I can feel it right away, the difference between playing piano, my shoulders are down, playing guitar, because I'm doing something different with my hands, it's already creating tension right here. So I have to learn how to drop that, and again, go back, Forever He is glorified. Forever He is lifted high. So can you hear the difference? But even when I lift that last note high, I wasn't focusing on that tone as much, so that caused my larynx to go up just a little bit more. But you can hear the difference, can't you? When I began the lower registers of that chorus on guitar, it was just as relaxed as I did on keyboard. And so those are some of the things that you have to watch out for when you're leading with an instrument, because you are doing something different with your hands. Muscles can tense, and so you have to be careful with that stuff. But more than anything, the pressure to perform. Let's talk about that issue, because you guys had asked a lot about that. Thanks for the hearts, by the way, on Periscope, you guys, because you can give hearts by tap on the screen. I didn't say that. Thanks for loving on the worship leader hair and glasses. You can send a heart through Facebook Live also. But pressure from performance doesn't need to be there. The whole idea is that you are leading worship. You are just singing the song of God. You're singing the words of Christ. You're singing the Bible. And nothing can be more intimate and at home when you're thinking that you're among family members within the room. Those are some of the things that I think about when I'm leading worship. I just think, okay, these are my friends, my brothers and sisters that I can just sing with. This is nothing that I have to make up. This is nothing that I have to force. Look, you don't need to impress anybody. And I think that's where a lot of this anxiety comes from, is that either, number one, you're not prepared and you don't know your music, and that will get anybody's anxiety up. Or number two, you feel like you got to wow somebody, or you feel like you really got to sing and really got to nail it in order for somebody else to sing in the congregation. That's not how it works. I mean, I could take any song like what I just did and just, I want my heart to be, I want me out of it, you know? I mean, yeah, I'm a perfectionist too, but I want me out of it, that when I'm singing, when I'm leading, like even when I was just playing right here, you know, I just want, you know, God to do the leading through me, right? Even in the playing, right? And then you go right into the verse. And see, already, just by the way I'm playing the music too, I'm also trying to identify with that with my voice. I'm not trying to, you know, hammer it out. You know, then it's like distorting through the system, right? But you get the idea. You know, not doing all these little runs and everything. The same thing happens to us vocally, and we put way too much in the song. Just sing the song, you know. The ground began. See, even right there, because the way I lifted my head and I didn't take a good breath. So the ground began to shake. The storms rolled away. His perfect love could not be overcome. Now death, where is your sting? I resurrect the King. Has read that you defeated. Forever He is glorified. Forever He is lifted high. You know, then I can, if I want, I can add those extra nuances, you know, like the forever He is glorified. That just that little bit of, just a little bit of that trill. Glorified, but it's more of a nuance. Forever He is lifted high. Forever He, and I'm trying to keep my head flat. Risen, He is alive. Sorry, live, He is alive. So I'm trying to keep everything here and relax, because the better that I do that, number one, the more projection I'm going to have. Number two, the more relaxed in my voice I'm going to be. And also, it just feels authentic. It feels like the way I'm singing, I can feel it. It's not tension, you know. It's not, you know, there's no other way to say it. Thanks, Kratos, and thanks, Steve and Paul. Appreciate you guys. It's just singing the song. I mean, there's not a magic formula to it. I don't believe that there's a, well, you got to get this involved and that and that. And yeah, we can do all these mechanical things. That's true. Thanks, Holly. How are you, my sister? I love you. She's so great. Holly is one of our fantastic mentorees that went through our program, and also got 1 or 2 workshops from Worship Team Training. So bless you, Holly. So these are the kind of things that we teach your church. I mean, if you invite us to come out to like a 1-day, 2-day event, this is what we do. I mean, I sit down with your musicians, with your vocalists, or if you want Laura to come out, or you want Tony Guerrero. I mean, this is what we do. We also do this by video. So, hey, it's right here for you. So Holly on Facebook Live talks about the enunciation is very, very true. And we talked about that before. I think that's very important. The clarity of what you're singing in the mic is huge, because if you allow confusion and people are not singing on the right word at the right time, at the right rhythm, the right syllable, and also the right tonality even or timbre, it just gets thrown off. And so when you add 4 or 5 people on a mic, I mean, it will sound like everybody's singing Watermelon, right? It will be muddy. It will be a muddy watermelon patch, and no one can make out the words that you're singing, you know? So I always just try to slow down the music and, you know, have the vocalist or if it's the choir, you know, I would always just have them speak the text, you know, forever he is glorified. Make sure that those rhythms are right there with it. And yeah, absolutely. Somebody said here on Periscope, the way you play as musicians should not override the singers. Absolutely. And that's a huge problem. I mean, like, when you saw me playing, again, I'm trying to make space for the vocal, right? There's not a lot that I have to do musically to make it work, right? So then you want to sing to it. I mean, if I'm just getting in the way, you know, and I'm sorry it's distorted, but you get the idea. You know, I'm trying to play the melody so much. Like I told, encouraging our pianist, she was asking what to play. I was just saying, just play tight chords in the center, you know, and just make them whole notes, you know. The ground began to shake, the storms rolled away. Perfect love could not be overcome. Now it's easy to do that with a single voice, but I have the singers in the team back off a bit too. Less is always more. Thanks, Barry. So like, I have the singers actually listen more than what they sing. That's another thing that was opened up in the broadcast. How much should they sing and listen? I say to that, it's like I say 60% listening, 40% singing. So that way you always know where the vocal lead is going. And also, like, if I'm singing in the team, I want to know what I can add or really what I can take away from my voice. Because if I get it out of the way, I'm just going to make that vocal split that much better, and the blending is going to happen on its own. So, you know, even on the chorus, if I was singing in the team, I would probably do something like this. Ever he, forever he. And then you can use that actually as like accenting certain words and highlighting, pulling out certain lyrics. It's a lot of fun, you know. So, forever he, then the leader is singing, glorified, right? Forever he is lifted high. Forever he. So again, the way we sing it, the way we approach the song, the way we play it, all those things make a huge, huge difference in what we do to carry that vocal melody. And again, yes, absolutely, less is more, because then you're engaged. This is what we talk about. Like when I talk a lot about this in the articles that are written and the broadcast about engaging, this is how you engage people in leading worship. You just make it authentic. It's not just bumming through the song and just trying to get it done from point A to point B. It's the life of that song. It's experiencing the whole up and down, the melodic, mountaintops, the valleys through it, exploring the landscape, making the song. The song that I'm using as an example is by Bethel, Forever We Sing Hallelujah. That's the song that I'm using. So again, no matter if I'm just playing guitar or playing keyboard, I mean, I just want every note to count. And what's cool about the music ability of what we do is that when you're also singing back and you're allowing the vocal lead to take it, as a band, you can also do really cool things by rearranging the sound, rearranging the music. This is also what we teach at our workshops as well. But like, if you were to take it down, forever He is glorified, forever He is lifted high, forever He is risen, He is alive, He is alive. So then I'm like keeping the same melody, but now I'm like turning the whole arrangement upside down. So now we're starting on this minor, right? So I'm just making different, what we call permutations, you know, through the music. This, right? The ground began to shake, the stones rolled away. His perfect love cannot be overcome. Now death, where is your sting? Our resurrected King has rendered you defeated. Forever He is glorified. And so like right there, then I'm with having that pre-chorus in the minor, and then when I adjust back to the major 1 on the chorus, it lifts that chorus even greater. Did you hear that? So I'm just doing different things that are not new for any musician who knows how to do these different things. I'm just ad-libbing, but I'm trying to, as best I can, to even engage the song. I mean, like, where's the emotional tone within that song? That will also help you with how do I emotionally connect vocally with the song. I mean, that's a huge deal, because if I'm just, you know, then it's like there's two different things going on, you know. The same thing if I'm playing softly, right? Forever He is glorified, forever. You know, then it's too much vocally. But if I find that middle, right? Forever He is glorified, forever He. You know, at that point, I'm trying to do what's called matching the moment. I'm matching the moment of that song emotionally, tonally, and vocally, and then also, more importantly, with the band. I want the band to reflect what I'm doing as well. So again, these are things that we teach at our workshops. You can find it here at WorshipTeamTraining.com/workshops to learn more. Fill out the form if you're interested, and I'll give you a free video workshop, okay? Because we do these workshops that come to you. I mean, like me coming to your church, sitting down with your vocal team, sitting down with your band, and saying, hey, let's go through this with guitar, with keyboards, drums, whatever. I sit with your vocal team. We also do like a 4-week in, 1 week out. Basically, you know, I'll come by and say, hey, let's talk about what we're going into and how we can work with this with your team. What are you guys experiencing? And we get like a hands-on approach so that way the workshop looks like you, and it doesn't look like anything else. But this is what we do. This is what we specialize in. The same thing with mentoring. So, you know, learning how to craft the music. I mean, so we do this, like I said, either by coming to your church, or we do this by video. If you want a video session, a live video one-to-one session, get a big screen, and you have this guy's face up here, or if it's Tony Guerrero or whoever, and big screen up for your whole team to see within your worship center or kitchen or whatever. I mean, let's do it. You know, let's just have fun. That's what it's about. We got a couple of these workshops actually scheduled up next week. They're private workshops. And then we also have a live workshop coming to the Oklahoma City area. So more information about that later if you're in that part of the region. But anyway, check us out. Just go to WorshipTeamTraining.com/workshops and see what these lessons, these techniques, the workshops can do for you, okay? So love you guys. Yeah, speaking of kitchen, I got to go back in there because I need to get some more water. I love you guys so much. Thanks for coming in today. And we did a little bit of music today and a little bit of encouragement. biblical sharing. And I hope that you can take this today to your worship team and your leaders and empower, embrace them, celebrate them, do everything possible for the glory of God and His worship. So thank you guys. Love y'all. Have a fantastic day. That's it for our broadcast, and I'll see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Oh, no. Actually, no, not. It won't be 10 a.m. It's going to be 11 a.m. Please do this. I'm going to tweet this out. Thank you very much, you guys. Tomorrow, we're going to go live at 11 a.m. or let's say 11:30. Yeah, I'll make up my mind. But let's see, because our son's got a performance tomorrow. So 11 a.m. Central Time is when we're going to do the show. 11 a.m. Oh, I'm so sorry. You guys got to work. So if you want to watch the replay, you can. But tomorrow we are not broadcasting at 10. Tomorrow we're broadcasting at 11 a.m. Central Time. I have to move it just for tomorrow, okay? So love you guys. See you back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. I'll put the tweet out and see you guys very soon. Love you. See ya. Bye.